Dear Chair, dear audience, I'd like to present you my thesis titled New Insights into the Accuracy of Fixed Dentures. My name is Mirjam Kisgergely, and I'm a first-year PhD student and also a resident at the Department of Prosthodontics at Semmelweis University. My supervisor is Gellért Kovács, and my SMS is Sinyi. My vision is to provide longer-lasting dental restorations to patients, and my mission is to explore the ways to produce more accurate fixed dental prostheses. Currently, I have two ongoing projects, and my main goal is to compare different dental milling machines. The title of my first project is Comparing the Accuracy of Dental Milling Machines in Fabricating Fixed Dentures, which is a systematic review and meta-analysis. There was a study in 2007 in which they found that 94% of crowns had poor marginal fit, which is predisposing to failure. This means that 94% of these teeth restored with crowns are more prone to develop, for example, caries or periodontal diseases, which with time will lead to tooth loss and eventually even edentulousness. When we want to make dental restorations, we always have to consider quite a few aspects, and one of the most important is accuracy. We always have to determine the appropriate dimensions of a prosthesis to be able to make long-lasting ones. And this clinically accepted accuracy is 100 micrometers. So how can we make these crowns? In an annual report of 2013, we can see that 75 to 80% of crowns were still made manually, and only the rest were made by computer-aided production. The problem with this is that these handmade crowns mean a slower production. It is unrepeatable because the technician designs it by hand, which can lead to human risk factors such as inaccuracy. So what is our other option? Is the computer-aided design and manufacturing. It ensures faster production, it is repeatable because all our data is stored on computers, and it is also accurate. This CAD/CAM production can be divided into two subgroups. One is the in-lab, which means that we still have to send the work to the dental technicians. Therefore, it requires multiple dental appointments, but it is considered accurate. The other one is the so-called chairside system, which means that everything happens at the dental clinic. It also allows us the concept of same-day dentistry, which means that patients come in and can leave on the same day with the final restoration. In this case, the question arises whether this fast production can result in accurate dental restorations. Therefore, our aim is to compare the accuracy of dental milling machines in fabricating fixed dentures. Our clinical question is that how accurate chairside milling machines are in fabricating fixed dentures, and we use the PICO framework where our population is milled single-unit restorations. Our intervention is different chairside milling machines, and we compare them to different lab-side ones, and our outcome is accuracy. The hypothesis is that chairside milling machines can produce fixed restorations as accurate as the lab-side milling machines, and our implication is to provide patients with CAD/CAM fixed dentures milled with the highest accuracy. So here you can see the flowchart of the selection. After the full-text selection and also the citation chasing, I've had 207 articles in total. So after completing data extraction, I've handed the data over to the statisticians, and we are frequently having conversations about it because of the complexity of the project, and I'm hoping to get the final results very soon. In the meantime, I've completed the risk of bias assessment and also started the parts of the manuscript writing that I'm able to. The title of my second project is Comparing the Accuracy of Dental Milling Machines in Fabricating Crowns, which is an in vitro study. During our everyday practice as dentists, when we want to make restorations, we usually have to make temporary ones before the final restoration. Why is that? Other dental treatments are sometimes needed, or aesthetic problems can occur if the front region is affected or the chewing function needs to be restored. One of the most important factors is that even the temporary restoration needs to be accurate for long-term success. As I've mentioned before, when we want to make restorations digitally, we have two main ways, the chair side and the left side milling. The advantage of the chair side is that the restoration can be ready immediately, while for the left side one, we usually have to wait approximately 1 week. The problem is that we do not know for sure whether the simpler software or the faster production of the chairside system allows us to fabricate restorations that are the same as the original design, thus being accurate. Therefore, our aim is to observe the marginal and internal surface accuracy of the left side and the chairside milled restorations. The clinical question is that how accurate the chairside milling machines are in fabricating crowns. And our population in the PICO framework is the milled crowns. The intervention is a chairside milling machine, and we compare it to a left side one, and our outcome is accuracy and time. And the hypothesis is that the chairside milling machine can produce the crowns as accurate as the left side milling machine, and the implication is to provide patients with CAD/CAM fixed dentures milled with the highest accuracy. So here you can see that the method of this study starts with the virtually designed restoration, an upper central incisor. We will send this data to the chairside and the left side milling machine and mill it with each. After the fabrication is done, we will get these crowns you can see in the pictures. We will use a scanner to digitalize them, allowing us to compare them to the original design. And this comparison will be made by superimposing the two data. Here you can see our outcome, which is accuracy. It has two main components. One is trueness, which means that we will project the STLs of the group's elements onto the reference one by one, and the program will give us the difference for each. Besides trueness, we also have precision, which includes measurements within a group. As an evaluation, the program will give us values such as root mean square, standard deviation, or average. As for secondary outcomes, we would also like to measure the time needed for the milling procedure and the amount and type of waste material generated by the process. Here you can see a timeline plan for our investigation. After getting the funding and also receiving the sample size calculation from the statisticians, we could order the necessary items and we can carry out the actual investigation. So in summary, I have two ongoing projects, both focusing on comparing dental milling machines. And I'd like to end my presentation with a quote from Carl Sagan, that somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. Questions?
Thank you for your nice presentation. My question is regarding your first project. So which are the variables which could be important to investigate this topic?
Thank you for your question. There are a lot of, let's say, variables in this project because there are quite a few different things that they investigated in these papers. So, for example, there can be the tools they are making the restoration on, the type of the restoration. So we focused on the single unit restorations, but there are quite a few of them, so we separated them as well. Also the finish line design, the cementation gap, which they use when they design these restorations. So yeah, there are quite a few of them.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you for your presentation. I would like to ask that in your second project, what type of scanner are you planning to use to scan the fabricated crowns?
Thank you for the question. We are planning to use an intraoral scanner because I've searched articles in this topic and who use the same method like we are planning to. They also use the intraoral scanner because they stated, and I found an article which stated that the desktop scanner isn't suitable enough because it cannot register the deepest points of the so the entire surface of the crowns. So this is why we are using the intraoral scanner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats on your nice presentation. In your second study, I noticed that the type of the study you mentioned, it's as an in vitro study.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what it means in this case when you're working with patients, right? Can you explain that?
Thank you for the question. Technically, we are not working with patients in this case because we will use a plastic tooth basically to prepare. We've had quite a few discussions on what to call this, but we found that these similar articles also had the type of the study as in vitro. We've discussed ex vivo, but it's not an extracted tooth we are using. Yeah, this is why we said in vitro.
Thank you.
Basically, we are not meeting with patients during this study.
Yes, it makes sense now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Did you find any research implication in your first study that you can apply in your second study?
Yes, I think I did. Basically, what we are planning to get at the end, I mean the result, is that with time, the accuracy of the chair side and the left side milling machines are both improving, but the gap between them is like it's getting smaller and smaller. So the accuracy is going towards each other, and this is what we plan to investigate in the in vitro study. These are machines from the same company, but the chair side and the left side one, and they haven't been investigated before. At least I couldn't find an article where they were investigated together. So this is why we wanted to investigate the same company's two milling machines.
So the new machines will be the implication, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I have just one comment that first you need to calculate the sample size, and after that you can go to the funding part in the timeline.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more questions?
One brief question: that what is the main issue with the first project that's preventing you from having any statistical results right now? That is the main point.
I think the lot of variables, which my colleague was asking, because we discussed with the statisticians that we need to pull things together to make it easier to interpret and understand for statistical analysis, because now we have we had tons of variables, and we try to pull them together to make them statistically more reasonable. So this was the problem, and with these discussions, I think we could manage it. And now I'm really waiting for the results, because we are at that point now.